Hello, beautiful subconscious. We are in 2025 and it's already in full swing. There's getting some momentum. And I think we're all now really dropping into that space that this year is going to be different. It has to be different. It's going to be different. And like, if there's anything the previous years have shown us, it's that time is not slowing down. And in my humble opinion, it is speeding up because we are rising as a collective consciousness. So as we're rising to a higher level of frequency, we're going at a faster pace. We're not in those denser frequencies as much anymore, which holds us back in time. So we got to let go of those lower frequencies to keep rising up. And as we rise up, we're going faster and faster and faster. So time on a collective space is going quicker. So do you embrace it? Do you fear it? Do you get frustrated with it? Just tap into right now. What does that do for your soul? I know for me, it blows my mind. I was just like, holy shit, like, why has this year or last year felt like it was condensed into, honestly, it felt like 7 months, 12 months felt like 7 months, probably even less. And it can stop you in your tracks. It stopped me in my tracks. And it's the realization I took from that is you just got to let go and go with it. You can't stop time. You got to roll with the constraints of time and let it work for you. And how do you do that? Is that you've got to let go of the fear that has you procrastinating, has you waiting for the perfect moment, has you believing you got to have it all perfect before you get it started, has you believing that like, and questioning like, is this going to be right? And so it does lead us into today's episode that we're talking for many women and men, I believe too, but that struggle, well, or the torn between safety and meaningful work. So we're going to discuss the tug of war between balancing the safety and the drive for meaningful work as a career woman, as a career mum. But we know before we get started, we pull an intention card for the episode. And today I already pulled it. It's I'm intuitively guided in every action that I take. So if you're to really embody that to be your truth, that I'm intuitively guided in every action that I take, then you would go for that desired career. Then you would go bigger and show up more and allow yourself to dream bigger, take riskier actions because you're intuitively guided with every action that you take. How much does that just take the pressure off you needing to know it all yourself and seemingly feel like you're on your own? And it allows you to open yourself up to greater support that you might not be able to see, feel, or touch, but you sense it to be there. And this for me personally has been a major intentional behavioral shift for me at the start of this year. I am leaning into support. I am doing the things that I'm noticing when my vibration drops into doubt, into comparisons, into, oh my God, am I going to be enough for this? And I actively have to tune it up to get me higher, whether that be journaling, whether it just be tapping into a really good song. For music has been really, really dialed into me right now, where I put on a song and it shifts my frequency to a higher level. You don't have to connect the two and find the answers as to why did I drop my frequency or what is in that moment. It's just simply choosing an activity that might not be anyway related to get you to a higher level of vibration to then get you back on course. That is what I've been actively seeking and doing. And I'm going to continue to make that a very, very proactive practice to just keep my energy up, because there's one thing I've learned also is that you don't get to where you want to go when you allow yourself to drop back into fear and doubt and imposter syndrome. You just got to lean in and be a little delulu and say like, you know what? I could choose to see life through that way. I'm not. I'm going to face and see it through the lens of I have everything right here in front of me. It is on. It is mine for the taking, and I'm leaning all the way in. So if you were to intuitively be guided or feel, connect into that knowingness that you are intuitively guided in every action that you take, then how would that change up the way that you approach feeling safe and leaning into more meaningful work as a career woman? So today we're talking on that need for safety. So for many of us women, we want to feel safe, and men, of course. Women, we have it dialed in our DNA that we want to feel that financial stability. And now in this modern world, we want to have our own job security. We want to know that we have some feeling of control for our future and our livelihood for our families and ourselves. At the same time, we also want to be able to lean into the desire for the capabilities we know are busting at that seam, that feminine creative energy that's right there that you're wanting to authentically express. So it's like, how do we reconcile these seemingly two opposing forces without burning ourselves to the ground and without losing ourselves? So that is what we're going to discuss today, is how do you find those two? So why does that need for safety exist? Why do these struggles even exist? The need for safety as a female and as a species is very much, it's ancestral, it is innate, it is primitive. As a female, we want to be able to feel safe. We want to feel emotionally safe. We want to feel financially safe. And of course, we want to feel physically safe. Our safety as a species, we feel less as the physical dominant gender out of the two. So we are dependent on feeling safe in our environment. And so we seek that out in those three main categories. And, you know, we also have this societal pressure. We've got to have it all together. We've got to feel like, you know, we're living the life that's deemed to be successful. And to do that, we're going after the careers and working our way up and feeling that safety through a solid paycheck each week. But is that really feeding also now our desire that's always been there for meaningful contribution? Because I believe instinctively we're here to, the human side of us is here to survive. Our soul is here to create. So how do you combine those two together and let them authentically integrate in the expression that's called your life? And that is what we're here to always try dynamically balance, right? Like that's what I feel. Our human, we want to survive. Our soul, we want to go large and express ourselves in the most authentic way that's possible to us. And so why do these two things clash is because pursuing meaningful work can often be known as risky. We can feel like it's risky. What if it doesn't pay off? Is that going to make me the money that I need to survive and live the life that I choose and desire? Is this meaningful work meaning that I'm going to have to be a completely different identity to who I've always been? But then safety, if I stay out in this job and I keep doing this for the next 20 years, does that mean I'm stuck in something that's going to be so unfulfilling? And the roles that I'm just playing right now that aren't really the full expression or any close to the expression of who I really am. Am I really prepared to let this be my life of existence? But then there's also that, you know, that fear of the unknown. Like, am I safe in leaning into that? So these are the things that play out underneath the surface. So when they show up emotionally, like you can be constantly questioning your choices. Like, am I making the right choice here? Am I making the right choice to stay in this job, to continue living this safe but soul sucking life? Maybe it's not that dramatic, but you know, if there's that void within you, you can do as much as you can to fill your day, but that void is going to be there until you actually address it. And so that can drain you. It's like draining to not do the work that lights you up. You're just simply going with the motions, but there's nothing that's really supporting you to light that spark within. And then, you know, especially mums, you can feel really guilty for wanting more. It's like, I feel terrible. I've got a beautiful home. I've got a career. I've got an incredibly outstanding family. I've got a loving relationship. Why do I want to seek more? Like, how greedy am I? And you can start to really self-minimize or come down harshly on yourself for thinking that it's okay to want more. And so physically that can exhaust you. And, that sense of dissatisfaction can just simply show up in areas in your gut health, poor sleep, that constant anxiety, that angst, burnout, just feeling like you have to keep filling your time and you're constantly just not allowing yourself to stop, because if you stop, then that void is going to catch up and then you're going to have to feel even more uncomfortable pain. And so let's just keep ourselves cooked and on that go, go, go hamster wheel so we don't actually need to address it. And the practical fallout is staying in a job that pays for the bills, but it does leave you feeling stuck, or hesitating to pursue opportunities or changes that align with your true value. It's which way do you go? It's so hard to find or really feel that state of centeredness, but in you to know what is right for you and your family in any moment of your time. Hello, lovely listeners. Our Total Life Transformation Program is live. If you feel stuck in your health, career, relationships, or money, this is the chance for a complete revamp. Over 6 months, you'll experience powerful changes that will transform every part of your life. With the guidance of 5 specialists, so yours truly, a kinesiologist, money mentor, functional health practitioner, career advisor, and our relationship coach, we address 4 key life pillars: your health, your career, your money, and your relationships. One investment shifts you from feeling low-key unfulfilled to fully energized and inspired in every area of your life. Health. If stress, emotional baggage, or unhealthy habits drain you, we will help release what's in your subconscious and create a personalized nutrition and supplement plan to reset your energy and health. Career. If you feel lost or stuck in your career, our kinesiologist and career mentor provide clarity, confidence, and an action plan to move forward with purpose. Money. If scarcity or fear around money keeps you stuck, we heal your financial blueprint. With our money mentor, you will gain practical strategies to confidently manage your finances for life. And relationships. If disconnection in your relationships leave you feeling unseen, we heal emotional wounds, leading to deeper connection, trust, and love. Now it's time to create your extraordinary life. So book your clarity call now for our Total Life Transformation Program, because it is live and waiting for you. So how does one come through this? What is the answer here? What is the way forward? And sometimes it's a new perspective. Sometimes you just need that balance and safety and meaning. And safety doesn't mean you have to stay stuck. It can mean that you just build a foundation that supports taking risks, not reckless risks, but just it can start really small and build your way up, building that threshold of just taking these little risks. It doesn't require an all or nothing leap. It's about integrating purpose into what it is that you already do. Like you can find a way to volunteer or support a charity in the work that you already do. You can start to really sign yourself up in ways where you can be of service, that in ways that light you up. It could be your kids' P&C. It could be, helping out in an animal shelter. It could be creating a foundation or a fundraiser or an event where you bring people together, where it just simply just brings joy. It doesn't even have to have a meaning other than just connection and joy. You can find or redefine your meaning of success. It can be finding what it is that you value, getting really dialed into what your values are, because straight away I know many will say, of course my family, of course health, and of course my financial freedom. I value that, and I value travel. Amazing. And I absolutely value them also. But if you were to dive deeper down more, what really is your deeper why? What's your deeper why? Because when I really started to dig away at these questions, what was the surface answers to where it was underneath, really deep down, I understood that a great value of mine is freedom and variety and fun and connection and living with growth and honorability. Like there seems like there's a lot there, but when I start to really tell, like, where can I find the fun today? Where can I find the connection today? Where can I allow myself that sense of freedom today? Whether it's just go for a random walk somewhere else that I've never usually gone before, or I can just switch off and or turn my music on and just go nuts for a little bit and just feel free in my body. When you get really close to what those values are and you just find little snippets of it throughout the day, like, where can I just honor myself more today, or honor my kids a little more? How can I show up more honorably and with more integrity and more authenticity? It's a question that when you give it some space, the answers will come. And maybe it's just an authentic conversation. Like, now that I hear that question, I now hear now that I ask that question, I now hear the answer, and now I can't unhear that answer. So the authentic thing to do and the honorable thing to do is to follow that. Like, there was this, a moment a couple of weeks ago where I had this conversation with someone, and it was just purely to connect, to really just share a vulnerable, sort of perspective for no other reason, just to simply connect. And it was in service for this person as well. So I'm like, how often do we let these opportunities pass us by for a real deeper connection, for simply just that be the purpose at all, just for a deeper connection? And walked out of that so fulfilled of, you know what, that's all it needed to be. And it just felt like it fed me on so many different levels: authenticity, connection, vulnerability, all that freedom to be like that. Yeah, freedom to be able to say the things that we often don't feel safe enough or comfortable enough to say, but you liberate yourself from that fear and suddenly you feel more connected to who you are. It was the most profound feeling. And so it's just redefining what success is. So I guess evaluate your current situation. Does this role align to my values and my strength? Or am I purely here for safety? Only you will know the answer. And it's not here to judge, and it's not here to feel guilty, and it's not here to take a reckless action right here, right now. What is some low risk ways to pursue more meaning? Maybe it's finding a passion project. Maybe it's just enrolling in upskilling somewhere. It doesn't even have to link to a career. It could just be something that you love, like a hobby. Maybe it's networking in the things that are of your interest. Like, I found this breath work community at the beach on a Saturday morning. It is absolutely epic. Casey, who runs it, she does a brilliant job. And it's just, again, all those things that I love. It's different from the Saturdays and the weekends that I used to dive into. I used to love a good Friday night drink or a Saturday night drink or a Saturday morning sleeping. Well, not really, because I used to always do yoga in the morning, but just doing something different. Why not? And so starting to find a different perspective on what safety is. If you can view safety as creating a life where you can pivot constantly and confidently, then you're not going to feel like you're trapped in any role. If you're feeling like I say this with love, if you're feeling like when your kids grow up, you're going to lose this identity of who you are. Yes, there's probably going to be an identity shift and a loss for me too, for sure. But if that's your only identity, then maybe use that as an opportunity to see, who am I outside of being a mum? If your career, or say me as a kinesiologist or a energy coach or a yoga teacher, was all that I knew me to be, then what else could I become? I even had this conversation. I might feel like I'm taking a left turn for a second, but even the conversation of drinking socially. People probably know me as people in my circles know me as I'm a good freaking time when I have a drink. I'm a good freaking time anyway, to be fair. But after a couple of drinks, and I like it myself too, right? It's fun, and I always have generally quite a good time. And it's just the day after that it's starting to become less and less worth it for me. And I've had this conversation with a few other adults around my age that are like, we all want the same thing in a sense where we kind of don't want to be drinking as much anymore, but it's been so ingrained growing up and our societal just not like expectations that I'm like, well, I have to change my friend group. No, guys, don't worry. Even my family, like even me as an identity, like it's just like, wow, there's a lot of tie-ins here and so deeply layered that it's just like, how interesting, like when you start to unpack that. So to feel trapped in thinking that you need a drink to go out, there's an opportunity of growth right there. So it's just playing in that field and seeing like, where do you feel comfortable and confident to be able to pivot so you don't feel like you need to only stay in one particular role or one particular identity, no matter whether that's personally or professionally. And so they're my suggestions here. If you're playing out this tug of war of, I want to feel safe, like safety is a value of mine. It absolutely is for me too. But I also want to lean into more purpose and more meaning, and for me to feel like my life is mine again, and that I get to wake up every day feeling like life is a little bit more new, and there's got that little bit of spark in me of what can I discover today? What else is there for me to learn today? What else can the universe show me today? And so the good news is that you don't have to choose. It's possible to create a career or a life that feels both safe and meaningful. You just have to invite the small steps and what you can take today that will align with your deepest desires. And how you know what your deepest desires are is you've got to give yourself the space to really learn who you are and where your energy goes. And so I'm hosting the 13th of February, this Own Your Energy online workshop. It's free. And we're going to offer the space like a 55-minute quick energy reset. It's going to be in the middle of the day. And it's targeted for the women, the career women who are in that constant go, go, go state, to just stop, take a second to tune on in, see where their energy is going, understand themselves and where their energy is going on a deeper level and why, and maybe hear some new takes on a metaphysical approach of where that energy is being stored in their body, how it's then being expressed through tension or through your emotional being or through your mental constraints, and what it is that you need. And we have some real practical tools that you can apply there and then that's going to support you releasing that tension, aka transmuting the energy to then come to a more aligned version of yourself. So then you can connect to yourself on a deeper level and learn more. Witness what's always right in front of you. If you take the constraints of pressure that you put on yourself of what you believe that you should be doing and just allow yourself to be who you are deep down. So this is what it'll be. It's going to be a really lush 55 minutes, reset, let go of and transmute some energy and reconnect to yourself and walk away with some real practical tools and understandings of who you are. So if this resonates with you, please join our free workshop. I'm going to give you the link. And you're just going to free up some stuck energy and discover a little bit more about yourself, because we're always here. We're always growing. We're always evolving beings. You are the most incredible book you'll ever read, write about, experience, work alongside. So keep investing in yourself. Keep wanting to lean into yourself. That's my suggestion. So that's it, folks. If you have enjoyed this episode, please share it with someone. Please get them to sign up to the workshop. We would love them there. Meet some of the facilitators for our Total Life Transformation 6-month program. I will absolutely be there, obviously supporting it, facilitating it. So share it as far as wide. It is online, 12 p.m. Perth time, the 13th of February. All the details will be through the link. Register your name down. So I love having your ears in and around this episode today. Let me know your thoughts on it. And yeah, there's always a way to find deeper meaning and feel safe. So until next time, live life liberated.
Audience.
exclusive.